Yay Networks.
Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti, and I can't wait for you to hear all of the Great Girlfriend magic on today's show. So without further ado, grab something great to drink, grab your pen and your paper, and get ready for this week's episode. Enjoy! I feel like I am at the Cheers bar with friends. Happy Wednesday, great girlfriends, near and far. I'm so excited. First of all, I've been in recordings. This is my third recording today. Wow. And I just get to talk to some of the most amazing women on the entire planet. And every single recording is so different. Every guest is so different, but these two right here are freaking frack of great girlfriendship. And I'm just so excited because I put out a post in our Facebook community, and I'm still looking for as many stories near and wide as possible of great girlfriends who are like, yo, I have the best, most amazing girlfriends on the planet. And I want to celebrate our friendship story because it is that amazing. I want to bring more of those stories to life. And so I put out the post, and I believe Courage and Olivia were the first to be like, yes, we have a story that the world needs to know about our friendship. So I wanted to bring the story together, but here's what they sent in. And I'm not sure who sent it in, so I'm going to guess after, but here's what came in. I'd love to share the dynamic friendship between who sent it in? Between my friend Olivia and I. So it was Courage that sent it in. Yeah. We have been through so much together, but no matter what life brings, we always have each other's back. Everyone needs a friendship like ours. We attended conferences together, great girlfriends included, because that's where we met. And yes, we fell in love. And I was like, oh my God, I have new friends. So we started businesses, volunteered, and honestly do life together. We hold each other accountable to our greatness. We have also held each other up through the loss of family, depression, her sister's cancer diagnosis and treatment, my youngest choosing homelessness, you name it, we have been through it together. Courage and Olivia. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I've known y'all for 7 years now.
Yeah.
I know. I look at the pictures. I look at stuff. I just saw, I had the mug from the conference. Like, I see that stuff, and it always takes me back to that place where it's like, oh man.
It has been such a wonderful 7 years to watch. First of all, to meet you all. There was like this rock star community of girlfriends in Charlotte that I didn't know anything about until we started to connect online. And then you all came up for the conference in New York, and I was just blown. Like, these women are so spirited, so bomb, so smart, so beautiful, so energetic, so loving. It was just amazing. And so now over the 7 years, I'm getting a chance to see everybody's gifts just like blooming. And I mean, I'm so happy to be able to sit here with y'all and talk about my 7-year experience with you has just been wonderful as like a secondary great girlfriend. But like to get into the inner workings of what your years together have been like, I want to dive into it. But I first want to know, I want to do a little great girlfriend test. This is a little pop quiz. Surprise. Courage, what's Olivia's favorite food?
Oh, her favorite food. That's hard to say because she don't like to eat the same thing all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a good one. That's good. Yay! She knows me well. I don't like to eat like the same thing over and over. I'm not like a big leftover person. I'm like, I need something new.
I love it. Okay, Olivia, what is Courage's favorite thing to do?
Oh, goodness. First of all, it's so many things, but I would say I'll give you two of them.
Okay.
Some of her favorite things to do is, first of all, being a million of her Bibles. Like, she has, if you look at her background, she has 20,000 behind her, right? So that's probably the first thing that I would say she loves to do. The second thing is dance. Like, if you ever go to karaoke with Courage, it's really dancing time. Like, I'm like, I can't hear you singing. All I see you is gyrating on the stage. So that would be her second favorite thing to do.
I love it.
That's
I
good.
love
Facts, I actually have 2 Bibles on my desk out of view right now. And I got a third right there that I had to take off my desk so I could do this. So that is factual. Yes.
I love it. And the dancing, is that
Oh
factual?
yeah. Oh man, come on. And anywhere, anytime, give me a beat.
I love it. Okay, Courage. What? Let me see. If I don't want to say because this might not be anything, but what is the number one thing that Olivia is afraid of?
Well, that's easy. S to the N to the. She's afraid of snakes. She don't even want us to say the word. She's gonna block you if you send her a picture. If you send her real or fake, it does not matter. It can be a toy. She's gonna block you. It's gonna be done. You're gonna be in a timeout. Okay.
That's factual.
All facts.
So we don't like snake skin. We're not going for snake skin on anything. Girl, give me a boot, give me a bag, give me like a come on, give me some texture. I'm here for it. So no, we don't like that word at all. We're totally afraid.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Olivia, if Courage could live in one place in the world that she's not in currently, where would that be?
Oh, where would that be? I don't know. Let's see. She is in this mode right now where she wants to go everywhere.
Okay.
Like she wants to go everywhere. So that is so hard. But I know she loves North Carolina, but she would probably, I would say maybe Seattle. She always talks about Seattle. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of hard. But yeah, that would be my guesses.
Seattle, are we close, Courage?
No, the first one was right. I don't know. I was thinking I was going to be interested in what she said. I was thinking, what? I didn't even know. So I was very interested to see where that was going to go when you asked that question. Yeah, no, I don't know. I do talk about Seattle. I'm going out there. I've never been, but like live for forever. I don't know. I ain't been to enough places. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
so I don't know what's actually the right answer. I don't know. That's a great answer.
Okay.
I don't know myself. So.
I love it. Okay, Courage. Olivia never leaves home without her.
Well, I would like to say her phone, but that's not true.
Uh-oh. Somebody.
You know what I'm saying? I would like to say her phone, but that's not true. I would like to say her purse, but that's also not true. So, I mean, I don't know what that might be. I don't know.
I heard it's a lip gloss though. I think she never leaves home without lip gloss. I feel like she'll pull a lip gloss. This is just my observation. Your lip is always popping. She always has one available, or a liner. I don't know if that's true, but
yeah, I would say lipstick. I have like many of those in my purse. So many. I was gonna have a good lip.
So how did y'all meet?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well, we know each other. I don't know that we met, right? That's not a real question because we from the same small town. So we didn't, you don't meet when you're from a small town. You just know people. You just know everybody, right? And so we knew each other when we were younger. We weren't friends, but we knew each other. We from, we got a lot of our family members know each other. A lot of people in the same age group, and it is a small town.
Okay.
And we went to the same schools also.
You went to
elementary and middle school. Mm-hmm.
What elementary school you went to? You went to Chisholm?
Yes.
Oh, I did.
Look at the expose. We're learning things.
She knows I went to Chisholm. I don't know why she's playing. What other school did I go to?
I don't know. I know you be trying to pretend like you're not from New Smyrna sometimes, so I didn't know.
No, I definitely went to Chisholm. So yeah, we definitely knew. I don't know where we met, but how we became friends is my cousin, which is her best friend. We used to be roommates in the town that I live in right now. And so when Courage came to college, we were already here before you, I believe. Yeah, we were already here. And so then they were friends. So then that's how we got to know each other.
Okay.
My cousin being her friend.
Okay. So cousins link people all the time. But what was it about Courage that made you be like, okay, okay. All right. What was like the on ramp to like, we can do this. Let's do some things.
I would think she was always a good time. Like she said, she always singing, she always dancing. So literally when she would come to our house, it was it was always a party. It was always like, we always had a good time. We had a lot of things in common. We loved to go eat at the same places. We weren't like, I think we just had a lot of commonalities in where we weren't like normal young adults who like to go out clubbing and things like that. We like to do like, you know, shopping or going out to eat or having karaoke at the house or playing, you know, games, things of that nature. So I think that's really what, you know, we were very similar in those respects. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Courage.
Yes.
How did you know that Olivia could be a friend that you could trust?
Probably because of, like, honestly, our time working together. So Olivia was my boss. I worked at Chick-fil-A when I was in college. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. Y'all can listen, y'all can do a sponsorship for the Great Girlfriends. Holla. And just like the way that she carried herself, there's this thing like it's a byproduct of my friendship with her cousin, right? Truthfully. So if Shalane is vouching for you, then I already know there's no question, because we are very similar. Shalane and I, we are very no nonsense. We're just not like that. And so, especially back then, I was a fighter back then. And so Shalanda would not have been introduced to me to somebody I was going to have to be fighting. She just wouldn't have done it. So she just got the benefit of the doubt because she was connected to Shalanda, and then we worked together. And so we were together just like talking about stuff and hanging out, and just like you hear how people talk about other things and other situations. Right. You really get a feel for them. So she already had a good end, but then after that, it was, you know, we got a lot of the same values.
Okay. Which I love that, Olivia, because I do feel, and it's so funny because apparently Courage either fights you or not. And I like that. She was like, so if I'm not going to fight her, she's going to be a friend. And that's how this is going to be. I just want to acknowledge. I was like, okay, so apparently I'm a friend because she's never fought me. She doesn't fight anymore, but she was throwing bows back in the day. So, but Olivia, because, you know, you're right. You start to pick up on how people move according to how they talk about things, like, you know, how they talk about other people. The referral, if another friend who knows your values, who knows you, brings someone to you, you begin to know and trust it. Like, all right, you're going to get a lot of benefit of the doubt depending on who brings you in the door. And then your credibility is built on how you move once you are in the relationship. So I know y'all have done years on years on years together, Olivia. What about your relationship? How many?
20 years, Olivia. Did you realize that?
Is it 20?
It's 20 because this is 23. We need to celebrate. Girl, we need to
celebrate. We're doing decades together. Years aren't enough. We're going decades.
Yeah, 2 decades.
We're doing decades out here.
Wow. I did not know it was 20 years.
Yeah, so come on. Let me just celebrate 20 years of loving and celebrating and connection in your friendship. That's amazing. I'd love to see that.
Crazy.
Okay, but Olivia, so how did you know that Courage would be one of your greatest girlfriends? What was a moment where you're like, okay, notch on the belt. You legit, you show some friendship right here. Give me one of those moments.
I would say, I think the first time that I felt like, okay, she's solid is like after we lived in the same city with each other. She moved away to Florida. So actually, you're the first one to move away. She moved away.
No.
And then she moved away. And then we used to talk on the phone. And then she ended up moving to Charlotte. And so when I talked to her in Charlotte, she had this idea. Our first business that we went into, she had this idea, and she called me up, and she was like, and she said, "Oh, would you be interested in?" And I just thought, wow, like we knew each other, but at that point we weren't that close. And I thought, like, if you feel, you know, close enough to me to be like, oh, would you be a business partner in this thing? I'm like, okay, she really down for me, right? Because I felt like most people would be like, oh, well, I have to, at this point now, we're 20 years in. At this point, we were only, I think, knowing each other for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe. It was very early on. So I felt like that was a huge step to just be like, oh, would you go into business? Because that to me, I feel like that's a very serious step to want to go into business with someone or become a business partner. So I think that was the first time that I was like, okay, she really about that life.
That's so good. Yeah, because that is a leap. I mean, that you guys know Brandis, you know, when we started with the Great Girlfriends and we were talking ideas, and Brandis and I were just, I mean, we talked, that's all we did actually. We talked ideas and God and family and things all the time. But when this one, we're like, okay, wait, this, and Brandis was like, I want to be a part of that. Like, that is something that I think is a part of both of our DNA. It felt super special that we could cross another line of connection there and not be like, okay, but wait, we're just friends, right? Because some people you're like, you don't even like to tip, so I know we can't do business together. Like, you don't like to pay the bill, right? You're like, we friends, but I also notice this is how you when the check comes. So I already know this is going to be a complication. We can't layer this thing. Yeah. But you all were able to add another layer of connection to your relationship. Here today, 20 years in. So I love that business does not come easy in friendship. It comes with a lot of complications. What are some of the things about your friendship that made business possible, Courage, and that made you able to sustain a friendship after business gets difficult?
Olivia is very laid back. You know, she's not as volatile. You know, so I was unstable, y'all. I was unstable. I was a hothead. And she's just very, you're not going to get her riled up. Yeah. You're not going to get her any of that. And because we are so similar in like how I speak, I didn't have to like walk on eggshells. I didn't have to slow down. If I was mad, I could be mad and say whatever. And it wasn't like, oh, well, she's yelling at me. No, I'm just excited. Like, this is how I talk. I don't, you know, I'm not going to be speaking in a whisper with you all the time. I think that really worked well. And neither one of us could do what the other person does. That is very, very helpful. Good. I cannot do, baby, honey, friends. I cannot do what Olivia does, what she has done as we've worked together. Like, I could never do it. I could never.
Uh-huh. Oh, so I love that.
Easier that way, because she can really, I can't get in her lane. Even if I want to, I can't, right? Yeah. And she is so good at what she does. Even when I do want to fire her and I'm not about to be her friend no more and I'm over her, I'll be like, but bruh, she's so good.
Right, I will be the fool. Like, if I it's not that she, right, it would be you being foolish. I understand that. No, I love that.
Great girlfriends, I have a new bestie for your kitchen. I am so excited to introduce to you my favorite meal prep company, Green Chef. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every single lifestyle. If you're like me and you're just looking to eat more balanced meals, Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preferences. What I love about Green Chef is that salmon dilly like Green Chef. And when salmon dilly like Green Chef, that means Green Chef is a win, because it is super hard to find foods that your kids can love that are also healthy for them. And there are a ton more benefits. I'm just going to give you a few that I love. First of all, the food tastes amazing. When I say flavor-filled and healthy. So you've got all these goals in 2023. I know losing weight or maintaining healthy weight is one of them. Try Green Chef. They've got fast and fit recipes under 750 calories and ready in less than 25 minutes. And they even have these 10-minute lunches, y'all. So each week you get a brand new menu. And on those menus, you have 2 convenient, low prep, and nutritious lunch recipes that are ready in just 10 minutes with no cooking required. Come on, who doesn't love that? So if you're on the go or if you're pressed for time at your office, you can still eat well and eat quickly and have something that's nutritious and amazing for you. And you cut down on meal prep with pre-portioned and pre-prepped ingredients, including pre-measured sauces, spices, and dressings, which is absolutely amazing. Green Chef also has options for every lifestyle. So if you're keto, if you're vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, or you're gluten-free, or if you're just like me and you want a balanced meal, Green Chef has something just for you. I love the fact that not only does Sybil, me, love the meals. Kwaku, the husband, loves the meals. Sam and Dylan loves the meals. And I might just slide a little something over to Willie every now and then, my puppy. So here's my favorite. If you're ordering, get the portobello steaks with truffle sauce. Like, don't even think twice about it. Order it now because it is so delicious, so flavor filled, and just like, waters in your mouth. So here's what you're going to do, because I know you're ready to order. Go to greenchef.com/girlfriend60 and use code girlfriend60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Again, that's greenchef.com/girlfriend60 and use code girlfriend60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Remember, this is the #1 meal kit for eating well, and you deserve to have this in your life today. That's greenchef.com/girlfriend60 and use our code girlfriend60 to get 60% off plus free shipping. Enjoy. Okay, so we've done business, we've done travel together, volunteering together. I understand that you guys are both very service driven and service oriented. And I respect that. Having a servant's heart to me is part of the DNA of a great friendship, great girlfriends. I believe that, we could put lashes on together. You can help me fix my makeup. We can, go through our books together, all the things we can do because we can serve one another. And that means that I am accountable to your growth. And you said that, we hold each other accountable to our greatness. That's being willing to serve one another. How have you been in, have you volunteered together? How'd you know where you both were supposed to plant your seeds, where it came to that?
Well, she planted her seed where I convinced her to plant her seed.
Exactly. I was just about to say that, where she pulls me to, because luckily when I grew up in a very service. So it was like, she would always be like, "Oh, we should do this," and because I grew up with my grandmother, she was very service oriented, so it came natural to me to do, but I wasn't always out seeking those opportunities. It would be Courage. She would be the seeking of the opportunities, and then she would call me and be like, "Oh, we got to do this thing." I'm like, "Okay, what are we doing now?"
Wow.
So we've served in church together. We've served on launch teams together. We've did service projects together where we've raised hundreds and thousands of dollars to buy students uniforms. We've done some amazing and crazy fundraisers for different organizations because she always has to pull me in. But once I get there, it's definitely something that I love to do, and we have been able to do that for years.
Yep.
So
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk hard times, because when you start talking about depression and loss of family and health diagnoses and children and their choices, those are the late night calls, those are the early morning calls, those are the pull-ups. That's when you're in the Chick-fil-A lot talking, and crying, and that's when you are, that's the part where a lot of people can't show up. Yeah. A lot of people, great girlfriends, they're there for the big times, but those hard moments, they don't even have it in them. They don't know how to show up. What were some of the keys to you guys, you two, you great women, not guys, but you women being able to be available to one another through some of these things? When I think about depression, just really quickly, you don't just start and stop there and it's over. There are depressive moments they're triggering moments. So it's like that can be a recurring thread. Some of these things are recurring. So what have been some of the keys to being able to show up?
I don't know how she showed up for me, honestly, because I was the one who dealt with depression, and it was a long time, and I was dealing with it before I even knew I was dealing with it. Like, I didn't know that I didn't realize I had a problem until I thought one day, like, it would be great if I didn't wake up. Like, and I really meant that. Like, I felt that, you know what I mean? And I was like, wait, that does not seem like a healthy thought to have. Maybe something's going on with me. But I had been dealing with it for so long. And Olivia saved my life. I tell the story. I was done. I was like, I literally cannot do this. I did not leave a note. I left my house, left my keys, left my ID, my husband, my kids. And I was just trying to think, like, where can I go and find a place where I could like walk into the street and I'll be like guaranteed that I'm going to die, right? I want to be killed on impact, right? I'm walking. I left walking. I did not leave driving. And I was in this parking lot sitting down and I saw this car like driving crazy. And I was like, oh, maybe this person's about to hit me right here. But it was Olivia. And I was like, I was so shocked. I was like, how did you find? This was before GPS. She has my location now. She did not have my location. I did not have a cell phone. I was so confused. It was the middle of the day, middle of the week. Why are you not at work? Like, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I was like, why are you here? What are you doing? She was like, I'm here for you. And I'm like, but how did you find me? I was so confused. She was like, because I'm looking all around for you. I'm like, yeah, but why were you looking for me? Well, my best friend, her cousin, called her and was like, had she talked to me, but nothing had happened in my mind, right? Like I didn't say anything. I wasn't like, oh, I think I'm gonna, I didn't do any of that. I didn't leave any hints, nothing. So I'm like, how did she convince you? Because I just talked to her yesterday, first of all. It wasn't days and days. How did she convince you to leave your job in the middle of the day to be randomly coming to look for me? Like, how did she was like, I don't know, but she was very serious. And so she convinced me. And so here I am. So yeah.
Yeah, no, she called me and she was just like, hey, have you talked to her? And I was like, no, I haven't talked to her. She was like, I felt like she felt like you sounded very strange the last time she talked to you. And I was like, really? And I was like, I hadn't talked to you. And I was like, I told the people I got to go. I was like, I got to. They were like, wait, what? I was like, no, I got to go. I got to go. And so I was just like, gonna literally drive around. I'm like, she cannot get that far. She ain't gonna walk that far. So I'm like driving around every little corner around her house. I'm like, gonna drive every corner till I find her. And then I found her and I was like, what the heck are you doing?
How she put up with me for all that time? Because I was bad. I didn't get better things didn't get better right after that. I was drinking all the time. I don't know how she did it. How did you do it, Olivia?
I would say it's definitely very hard for me. And it's funny because Courage, she cries all the time. She cries
present
all
day,
the time.
good, bad,
and I think during those times when she would, now when she cries, she's not crying because she's depressed, but it definitely triggers me because she's like, oh, you don't want to hear me cry? Because Courage, she can cry on demand. She's just like, oh, I need to cry. And she will just start crying in your presence. And I'm like, you have to cry here and now, like right now. But that's one of the things that triggers me when she cries, because I do remember back in the day when she was actually depressed.
Right.
And she would cry. But I just was there. Like I'm not a very talkative person, so I don't have like all these great words to say. But I think when someone is going through depression or downtime, there's nothing you can say. The only thing that you can really do a lot of times is just be there. So there was times where she was just like, oh, let's go out. Anytime that she wanted to do something or go somewhere or I was there, like, okay, what do you want to do? Because I knew the one thing that I could do was be there. Sometimes you don't need to do all the talking. You just need to have a presence and let them know that, you care for them, you love them, and, you want them to be here on this earth. So I think that's what that's all I can do.
Yeah. I love that so much. She was like, listen, I don't know where she is, but wherever she is, I'm about to pull up on her, get her in the car, and we're going to figure this out. And like, how God ordained was that moment that, you thought that was like the end and that was the beginning. It's like, God was like, no. My love will pull up on you. My love is real. My love is going to rescue you from this destructive state. I really love and respect that. And so, like you said, and I love what you said, Olivia, that's so honest of you to say, like, because Courage, I have seen you cry. I've seen you cry like if I say cry, Courage can be like, oh, like it is. She has moments that are always ready where she's able to like, yeah, I've seen it, but for people who are not like heavy criers, it can be triggering to say, wait, is this a good moment? Like, what's her state there? But Olivia is on alert. regardless of what that is, she's decided that she's going to be available to your tears.
Yeah.
You understand, like, that kind of like devotion in friendship is wow. It's almost like when I say it's like it is the God kind of love. It really is. Whatever the tear means, she's gonna be there as a pathologist to determine like are these are we sobbing, we weeping, what's happening here? And she's gonna right. So I love that you decided, Olivia, to be available in that way. And I know, Courage, you've extended that to her because you mentioned that her sister had a cancer diagnosis. And you guys had to journey through that emotion and even that health diagnosis. Tell me a little bit about that.
For me, that was very hard for me because I don't know. It was just very hard for me to always like be there in the doctor and take her to the doctor because my sister, it was a very difficult time. And it's just, I don't know. I'm very compassionate, but I'm not in certain ways, like if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I'm very nurturing to a sense, but when people are sick, I don't know. I just don't know how to react. I don't know how to be. So during that time, I don't even know what I would do because Courage was able to step in so many times where it was like she had to go to treatment. She had to be at the doctor. I also was working. So it was like so amazing to have someone to be able to be there because my sister, she only had me in the town that we lived in. There was no one else. So it was amazing that she was able to step in and be there and take some of that brunt because it was very difficult. My sister had a son and, she lived with me. So I was her whole caretaker. So to have someone to be able to be at the doctor with her, cancer is not fun, and people that are going through it, they are not fun either. So that was a difficult time, and to have someone else to be able to help with that, I literally don't know what I would do like if I didn't have that. So
it's interesting because when you want to serve and support people, you have to choose to be that to a person. You have to decide, because we all have life going on. We're all busy. We got things. But in your friendship, you have to kind of, sometimes you're called to these moments and you have to know that you can show up and choose to be there, right? To choose to make space for this side of a friendship, make space for these moments. And you come out of them so much stronger and so much more certain that you deserve that type of love and support in your life, period. And it starts to become the new level. You're like, actually, going forward, hence therefore, if my friends cannot show me a certain level of capability, then I don't need you in close proximity. And I have been preaching from the rooftop the importance of having, if you're going to give people proximity, they need to qualify and have certain qualifications, right? Because life is going to be happening, and I don't need people checking out. I need people that are going to opt in when life is happening. So when Courage's youngest chooses homelessness, you need Olivia opting in.
First of all, that's Olivia's goddaughter. And I told Olivia when she turned 18 that her and Greg needed to step up because me and Mike had been parenting the first 18 and we were tagging them in, so they could do the next 18, but they refused. Okay.
Yeah, you needed her. So there was the opt-in. So because I don't know how I make that call. I don't know how I'm not, my babies are 11 and 14. Who knows the road ahead, but that juncture in the road, I need to know more about that. I need to understand what was taking place there.
Everybody says she's just like her mom and her dad, but I was wild living in my own address though. Okay. I was doing that at my own house, not at my mama's house. And my husband was wild too, but I ain't his mama. You feel me? And so it's just like we didn't really have a ton of trouble out of her. Baby, when we turned 18 and we graduated, when I tell you, I don't know what happened or what house she thought she lived at. And I was like, ma'am, you got a couple choices. You can live like this or you ain't got to live here. She was like, she ain't got to live here. I was like, oh, okay, well, bye. Well, bye. She slept in her car. stayed in her car. She went to Olivia's house. She got a dog, her and the dog, who was just barking. That's y'all heard barking because now I got him. And living in the car together. I was like, oh, that dog can't stay here. Well, me and my dog were just in there. Okay, well, y'all stay in the car then. Y'all do that. Good. I wish you the best if that's your choice. It was not an easy choice for us. We could not believe it. We were like, we didn't pack her stuff up and kick her out. We were just like reasonable. Don't have people we don't know in our house in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Just
a hard ass. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get into a situation where the police are coming to my home. Like just very simple, normal things. She was not trying to have that. She grown. That was her favorite thing. Her favorite line is to this day, that's still her favorite line.
I'm grown.
I'm like, okay, well, you can't be grown here. So she stayed with Olivia for a bit. That was hard. It was crazy because you just cannot imagine that this kid raised in a 2-parent household. This girl's not from the hood. This girl not from the hood, baby. She from the burbs her whole life. So where the gangster came from, I'm like, I don't know how we gangster. I'm like, we could have said, I don't know how. You come from we live in Mint Hill. You understand what I'm saying? Like you live in the burbs. We don't even live in Charlotte. Child,
so this was just in her DNA. She was like, and it's probably part of her story. It was meant for her to have this moment in time so she could choose how she was gonna show up. And listen, Godmama Olivia had her back.
Yes.
And okay, I love it. So tell me this. All right, I want to know 3 real friends do and 3 real friends don't. 3 real friends do. Olivia, real friends do.
3 real friends do.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, they show up without calling. I know there's so many times that we have showed up for each other without having to call, not having to say anything like, oh, you got this thing going on, I'm going to be there. So I think real friends show up. I think real friends, you can tell them things without judgment. I know something about real friends, people are like, oh, you can't tell. Real friends, you can tell them something like, oh, this person did this, and then that friend is gonna be certain type of way. I feel like Courage can tell me anything about anyone, in private, and I'm not gonna treat them any type of way or say anything or something like that. So real friends really know how to hold it. Okay, you gotta say everything, you gotta act every way. And then the third one would be, what is the third one? Real friends show up, know how to hold it. And what would be the third one? I think real friends invest in friendships, like invest in your friends. So I think that would be my third one.
Would you agree with her list, Courage?
Yes, that's a great list. That's a great list.
So real friends don't, Courage.
Real friends don't constantly drop the ball. Ooh. Okay. That is, we cannot with that. I'm gonna do it, and then you literally never do it. Real friends don't drop the ball. Real friends don't demand. Real friends don't demand, right? And I have this thing where if I ask you to do something, if you ask me to do something and I can't say no, it's not an ask, it's a demand. Right? If our friendship is contingent upon me saying yes, then it's not an ask. You are demanding. You expected me to do that. I didn't have the right to say no. So real friends do not demand. Real friends don't demand. They don't let you play small.
Yeah.
They don't give you no space for that. They ain't got no time for it. They ain't giving you no ear for it. It's a shutdown. Yeah. Real friends don't allow you to play small. They don't demand. They don't continue to drop the ball.
Yeah. Olivia, how do you feel about that list?
Yeah, right. That's right on for me.
I
agree 100%.
Yeah, real friends don't compete.
Oh, yeah.
They respect your light. They want to shine it up. They want to add some. They don't compete with you. They don't try to get in your space. And I love how you all allow each other the space to think, feel, and respect each other's opinions on things. And I just think it's so valuable that real friends don't have to compete. Like Olivia's thoughts are Olivia's thoughts, Courage's are Courage's. And they both make up this amazing friendship that you're so excited about, that you got 20 years into.
Yeah, 20 years.
Wow. 20 years.
Crazy.
That is fantastic. So wait, if you had to leave great girlfriends today who are really like struggling in their friendships or trying to figure out how to do, because there's still a bunch of women, y'all, bunch of women who are like no new friends and they swear by it. And I'm like, thank you, Lord, for every new friend. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I'm just like, send them all, Jesus, send them all. Yeah, let the rain fall. But for those women who are like no new friends because they've been burned and because they just don't have the time, they feel they don't have the time to cultivate what you all have. They admire it. They just don't think it's for them. What would you say to them? I'll start with you, Olivia.
I would say I hear this all the time where people just can't find friends or don't have friends. I'm in spaces where they're like, oh, I don't have any friends. And I would say, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be open for new friends. You can't just expect, and you have to, I know people want friends, but they want their friends to call them all the time or, be the one to lead it all the time. And I think you have to give, you have to be reciprocal when it comes to friendships. You can't just, take all the time and not give. So I think you have to be open for new friends and you have to be intentional. And I think that's another thing they don't want to do is be intentional. Got to think like, what can I do, for my friends, or what can I plan, or let's plan a trip or something to be intentional about cultivating the friendships and getting together and having a space and not just like, well, I'm too busy or I got to work. It's like, okay, let's plan something.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important.
What would you say, Courage?
I would say that this idea of no new friends, I think that's a poverty mindset, right? It's like money. Friendships are like money.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think about that, right? Because
Olivia, I was like, wait a minute. But it is like a poverty mindset. Okay, go ahead.
It's a poverty mindset, right? Because the idea is that there aren't enough to go around. It's why you hold on to the friends that you have so tight, they can't get no new friends. And it's because you also don't think that there are a lot of great friends out there. So it's like, it's not enough to go around. That's poverty. And if you realize that friendship was like finances, you would be out here trying to secure the bag. Everybody's trying to secure that bag. Like, friendship is money. Like, friendship is currency. Friendship is equity, right? I have to invest. Olivia said, I have to invest, and there's a return on my investment. It grows, it compounds. It gives me more options. Yes, I could live you could live a very like regular life, basic life, all those things. But the more friends you have, the more options you have,
right?
The greater your reach, the greater your impact. Like, I just like, it's friendship. Friendship is fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Friendship is the new money.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. And I sometimes think about it and I go to those great girlfriends. One, you gotta heal. You have to forgiveness. You need to add forgiveness as one of your keys and your tools for success, because you're going to have to forgive people for the times they did not show up for you. And for all the times that they maybe wanted to or abandoned you in a time of need. You're going to have to forgive people for that. And you can't hold new people and you can't imprison them because of the people that didn't do the things that they said they want to do. And forgiveness is that way, because when you do forgive people, you realize like, wait a minute, I'm worthy of having bomb friendships that like the ones that I admire. Like, I'm worthy of having like women who show up, who love me, who support me, who do all the things that you two just talked about. Yeah. Like, every woman can have that. And it's like, you are worthy, great girlfriend. You're worthy. And like you said, that poverty mindset, whoo, that's so important to understand the power and the wealth that sits inside of relationships. Because when I call you friend, you know, do you understand? You get everything but my husband. Like, you get everything. You got access to my kids. You have access to my thought leadership. You have access to my bag. You have access to my relationships, my community, my assets, my vulnerability. You can't have a husband. Can't touch them. Don't touch them. But all the others, like the things, right? You have access, and it is indeed a currency. We're sitting here today because we believed in the power of friendship. We get that, right? Like that's why we're here. So I just want to thank you both because you put it on display from the start, like from the door. Y'all were like, we're from Charlotte. This is how we do friendship. This is our crew. And any other crew who wants to crew like this is how we love each other. This is how we show up. Like your show up was just like unmatched. It's unmatched show up, and like seeing you go behind the fold of it and seeing you say that this has been happening for 20 years for you, the two of you. I love it so much. And I wish for every woman to like reevaluate that model. Like maybe I need to look at my model differently, or maybe I haven't been acknowledging the people that have been showing up for me. Maybe I haven't thought it was enough. But I'm like, baby, it was actually a lifeline. Like maybe I need to see my friendships differently and honor them differently. And then they're like, what, or have them say, what can happen for me in the body of my friendships if this can happen for Courage and Olivia? Like I want a listener to grab that, and I want a listener to go like, wow, let me go text some great girlfriends and be like, girl, I just love you. I love you because I realized today you have been great to me. And I thought I just had I have top tier friends, like I want her to do that. So I want to thank you for opening the door to your relationship and sharing some of the vulnerable moments that were not easy. Like Olivia pulling up on you, Courage, is just, wow. I know. I love it so much. Okay. So I want to know, where can great girlfriends keep up with you individually? What's going on that they can support, that we can all show up for? How can we make sure? Because I know like podcasts, right? Hello, we got classes. We have courses. We're coursing. All right. So let's talk. Give me real quick. Where can they show up and support? Olivia, let's start with you. Courage, let's close with you.
Yeah, well, you can follow me on Instagram everywhere. I have a YouTube channel, all the things, Olivia Heyward. I also, like she said, I have courses with my business partner, Amber. So we do A&O. So I have, if you want to learn how to do YouTube, we teach that. And then I'm a maker. So I make handmade earrings and different accessories. So, you can find me all on the internet. Olivia Heyward everywhere.
I love it. Courage?
Yes, I am Courage Molina everywhere. Also Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. Have an online church for women, Bold Faith Community Church. You can get to me still, that church, through Courage Molina. YouTube, I said that podcast, Bold Faith. And Olivia and I and our other friend Amber, we actually have a podcast together called My CEO Squad, because that's this is my CEO squad. Everybody needs one. Yes. And so you can find us, My CEO Squad. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love y'all so much. I'm so grateful for this time today. Great girlfriends, please do share, support, like, comment, follow, and reach out to Courage and Olivia, because they are women who I just trust and adore so much. I have such respect for you two, and I'm so grateful that you opted to come on and share your great girlfriend story. And I know you're touching lives everywhere. So thank you for touching lives in our bucket too, and making sure that you're available. I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us. You started this. You started us off on this brand thing, the Great Girlfriends. That was the catalyst for us. So we love you. Anything we can do for you, great girl, we're here for it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love y'all so much. All right. Thank you, great girlfriends.
All right, great girlfriends. Did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast and the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group at The Great Girlfriends. Follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends and on Twitter at @the_great GFS. I'm Sibylla Muti, and I'm out. Peace.